what are my top 3 tips if I was going to change jobs in the next few months in the corporate market? So if you're an executive thinking of making a move, these are the 3 critical things you've got to get right. Number 1, before you go to market, you must ensure that your personal brand is totally up to date. And by that I mean your resumes, your cover letters, your corporate biography, and your LinkedIn profile. That has to tell a story, that has to, very carefully capture your unique value proposition. You cannot approach the market expecting these documents to, recruiters or employers to join the dots for you. So you must get this messaging correct before you go to market. And now it's increasingly important that those documents are AI, artificial intelligence, and ATS, applicant tracking system compliant. Now that might mean you've got to invest in the right template to put these documents together, but it's absolutely critical, because what we're seeing increasingly is artificial intelligence is being used to screen out the candidates in the first few phases of the recruitment process. And if your documentation is not right, you will just simply not get an interview. So it's absolutely imperative you get the personal branding in check, spend some time, spend some money to get these documents right. The second thing I would do before I go to market is I would absolutely undertake some form of interview preparation. How are you going to present? How are you going to talk? I have so many clients that assume this part of the equation will be easy. They've interviewed well in the past. They may have a level of confidence, but then when you get them on the phone and you actually run through some tricky questions, they fall apart in a mock interview setting. So it's absolutely crucial. You've got your key messages right. Why are you thinking of leaving? What are you looking for? What do you bring to the table? What makes you unique? What are your salary expectations? So many people start to send out CVs and then try and figure this out. It's much better to go to market with this totally nailed. The messages have to be nailed. You really do have to have that clarity around what you're going to say and how you're going to say it and who you're going to say it to. And then finally, you must map out who are the top executive search consultants that operate in your field of expertise. Nowadays there is just enormous levels of specialty in the market, and you need to find out who are the top corporate headhunters, who would be of most assistance to you, and you need to forge a relationship with them. Now, you may be lucky and maybe some researchers have identified you as top talent and you've already got relationships established within the major search firms. But the reality is a lot of these roles now can be handled by the top tier and the second tier. And often in the second tier, which is a more nimble, more aggressive part of the executive search market, you can find absolute hidden gems of executive search consultants who are going to absolutely change your life. They're going to connect you in with the right opportunity and the right organization at the right time. So it's critical that you identify who are the right people to be talking to. In my experience at the moment, you have to cast a wider net than what you have normally had to cast to achieve the same result. So it might mean you've got to talk to a new group of executive search consultants to ensure that you're being considered for the right opportunity. So they're the top 3 items you must get right before you go to market and before you start sending out CVs to executive search firms or to employers to ensure a really good outcome.